So, as we jump into this, guys, we have a Division 1 Chair League match between Graveyard Shift in the left-hand side and the Rip the Dream on the right-hand side. Map is Infernal Shrines. Both teams have 4 wins in the season. One is 3 losses, one is 2 losses. So they're right in the top 10, both of them. Definitely in the running for their playoff places. Actually, both of them have it right now. So looks like somebody's going to get knocked down a little bit further from this game, which will be neat to see. While we're waiting for the first ban to come on up, guys, you do have you're earning BJs just by being here. There's a contest live right now. It'll be up for 10 minutes. A little less because we're on a 60-second delay here. And so you can actually bet your BJs to see on what team you think will win. I today am definitely going to have to go for Graveyard Shift today. So I'm going to bet and I'm going to put in 5,000. That sounds about right because, you know, I got to support the good old Canadians there. So we'll get something in the pot going. But first ban we have is Rag from the side of Graveyard Shift. Very solid ban here. The ability to delay the Punishers when they come in is wonderful. Just keep those keeps up a little bit longer and keep the fight more in the front when you're Molten Cord. He also is a very strong assassin just in and around the shrines. He's got some nice splash damage with all of his abilities that allow him to get good clear. And the Taster pulled up from the side of Rip the Dream. Taster, very strong support in the meta right now. Those shields are great across the board. He can put up lots of damage himself too. So definitely a top contested pick and one that people love to pull off the plate. Which is good. Hey, Ragnarok! Welcome to the stream, man. And what is our first pick? I feel we're going to see an ETC and a Malf somewhere in here. ETC is undeniably the strongest tank right now as a solo tank. So definitely we'll see him somewhere in this. Malfurion is one of the next strongest supports. We're also going to see the... what was I going to say? Probably we'll see a Lucio at some point, but it depends how the teams shape up. He tends to be fairly highly picked lately. But we get the first pick, Nazeebo. Very strong right now. Tons of damage output. His trait is wonderful that way. Has good push potential too if he's left in a solo lane. By far one of my favorite specialists in the game. Can get lots of value from him across the board in terms of pushing and also the ability to get tons of value in the team fight with the damage output that he can get with his abilities. So, good pick. I like it. Love seeing the specialist first pick. Makes me feel good about my role. Zell is awesome. Rag is terrible and crappy. I feel like he's slightly overpicked right now in the general scheme of things because he is one of those new hotness still in the play. But we have a Zarya Malf pickup. As we talked about earlier, Malf is super strong right now. Lots of ability to lock people down with the roots. Great heals across the board. So was definitely expecting that one. The Zarya as well. She's never really run as a solo tank too much, but the ability to get the shields out there, her grenade damage, I've seen tons of grenades just murder teams apart. So very strong pickup. The ability to help support her team with the shields. Great synergy. Also the explosion zone and then being able to get roots in behind it. Like there's lots of combinations with both Malf and Zarya right now, just in terms of helping with lockdown. So I feel like we're going to see from the side of Rip the Dream a little bit more on that lockdown side of things. Could definitely see them pairing this with like a Muradin in the front line, or well, ETC first, but possibly a Muradin if that gets banned away, just to get additional lockdown behind the Malf and the Zarya. So I really like that. And let's get the pool up a little bit higher. Get the pool up a little bit higher. So, Jane is picked up. I like this one on this map. The ability to lock down or get lots of damage onto the shrines, where all the minions are. Burst damage in an area is very nice for that. Can burn the minions very, very nicely. And in the choke points around her, she gets lots of value from her different abilities, which is great. Great to see. And then the Newberg picked up as well. It's an interesting one. I like him as a tank. Gets lots of value with the stuns and everything, which is good to lock down somebody like Malf and can get them from a distance. It's kind of taking him this early without seeing the other team, there might be better tanks that could be picked up. This is kind of going to force Rip the Dream to want to go a little bit more of an auto attack build. I mean, who knows what they're going to bring up on their other side of things, but Anub'arak does a really good job of blocking the spell armor, or having spell armor to block all the different spells, so works really well against things like Alimane, Chromie, Gul'dan, and that sort of thing, just blocking around that bad damage. And the Kerrigan pulled out of this. She is very strong on this. If she can solo, like she solos the shrines very well, she can just go to town on them, take off if she can get there on contestants. So it allows the teams to take a fight in a different area, and it looks like Rip the Dream doesn't want to deal with that. I have no problem with that, especially having the Anub'arak to be able to jump in after the Kerrigan. It could be rough in some team fights too. I don't know if I would be this super scared about her, but it'll be interesting to see. And it looks like Diablo is the hovered ban here for the side of Graveyard Shift. I like it. He's scary. Lots of chokes here. Apocalypse can get a ton of value because there are such fights in close quarters. His ability to isolate parts of the team as well is good. I feel like I would have preferred to see an ETC ban, though. Diablo's lockdowns aren't as easy to position as ETCs and to combo with things like a Malfurion. But who knows what these teams may have played each other before, so we don't quite know exactly what they know about the other team and how they play and what their combinations are. Yeah, and it's not even like they want to pick up themselves the Diablo as a bruiser to go with the Anub'arak to get the Apocalypse Ring of Frost combinations that you can get going there. Those are always a little scary if you can hit those ones for sure. But what are we going to have next? I feel like we're probably going to see something like a Valet in this. We're also probably going to see something strong wave clear like a Kel'Thus or a Gul'dan. Something that's just got that area of effect to compete with Jaina over the shrines. And I feel like we may see a melee assassin in with this comp. Something like a Thrall. Just to give them a bit of frontline presence. But there's the ETC in the Vala. Very, very strong there. And gives us some additional lockdown. ETC into the Rain of Vengeance. You got Roots in behind that. You've got the Expulsion Zone. Lots of good combinations there. If they can catch somebody out, it's going to be a tough day. And right now, not a ton of maneuverability on the side of Graveyard Shift. Like, Jaina doesn't really have any escapes. Nazeebo doesn't have any escapes early on. Both of them are just waiting and relying on their team to stay safe. So, you know, if Naz is solo laning, he's got to be very careful that he doesn't get picked off by some rotations, because that would be definitely where I would expect Rip the Dream to try to capitalize. Just because they do have a little bit more maneuverability with the slides from ETC and the vaults from Vala. So our last picks for Graveyard Shift. What are we going to see? I'm guessing... Again, I think they're going to need more frontline here too. So maybe a Thrall? Oh, are we... What happened? Oh, Arthas. And Morales. Yeah, I guess we haven't seen a support yet there. Jeez. Okay, so Arthas is good in the shrines. He does have lots of damage. He can slow things down. Against the Vala is good. Like, Arthas is kind of a very strong tank against auto attack heroes. Anub'arak against mage. So it looks like they're kind of just hedging their bets. Morales in behind this. If she can stay on that front line and allow the back line to do damage, Nazeebo is going to go to town, and so is Jaina. Right? They'll just get a little bit of poke in. Morales will keep the front line in the fight over the shrines so that the rest of the team can do work. I like the Morales in behind this. I very much do. It should work out well. If she has high health heroes that she can just stick on and keep them alive, it can be very, very scary for the other team. I don't necessarily love any stim targets, so maybe we're going to see more of a medevac play in this one just to get some global presence. It is a relatively large map, so you can pull off some shenanigans there where you can just jump to other places on the map, and with Nazeebo getting the minions out there, you can push fairly strong. But our last pick from the side of Rip the Dream is Azul, and I think he's a very, very strong one to be going against the Nazeebo there. Nazeebo definitely outranges him, but with the Born Prism, the Scythe, all those four fun things, we will see what who will win in the two there. I like both team comps right now. I am leaning partially to the side of Rip the Dream, even though I'm loving me my Graveyard Shift. Love what's going on there. They have a very solid setup on the side of Rip the Dream with the Vala ETC Malf, some of the most contested heroes in the game. Graveyard Shift's gone a little bit more off meta when it comes to the Pro League games and everything, but hey, it's Chair League, it's Div 1. You never quite know what you are going to see. So, and my observer interface is having issues right now, isn't it? Well, we'll see what this one brings up, guys. I think the top bar is going to look a little funky with where the talents line up, so I apologize in advance. But we will get this going, and before we do, I'm just going to put this down and bring it up after the game so it doesn't obscure anything for you guys. And here we go. As we load in, we've got a Div 1 Chair League match on Infernal Shrines, and we've got on the left-hand side Graveyard Shift with Zell playing a Nubarak, Waffle Fries on good old Morales, Lokiander playing Arthas, Mika Shiva is on Jaina, and up on the top we've got Sirongius on Nazeebo. God, I butchered stuff. Over on the right-hand side, in the red, we've got Rip the Dream with Nims on the good old Zool, Tyriella on the Malf, Rival is playing Vala, Zabumafu on Zarya, and Aetherfog on ZETC. And let's see how things go. As I mentioned earlier, guys, both teams are 4 wins in the season. One is ranked 7th, one is ranked 10th. So both are in a good position for playoffs right now. It should be awesome. Oh no, Ragnarok. So we got, looks like right here we've got them going in for a tower. Will they try to take it or will they back out early? Let's see what happens. The rest of the team is all wrapping up. I like Aetherfog's position there to try to push him off, but Anubrak getting a ton of value in there on the Zarya. Trying to push him back. Tyriella's getting fairly low too on the Malfurion. The 4v5 here, they're taking a little bit of damage, and Tyriella is going to fall. Great pressure from Jaina there to push it on. So, able to get a tower, losing the kill though. They are still at a little bit of an advantage because they did have Zool down there soaking the lanes. So, all in all, good start. Good first trade for Rip the Dream. Would have been nice if they could get out without any deaths, but all in all, it worked. And Rival's getting collapsed upon here by Arthas and Nubarak, but is going to be able to get out of there. And the nice thing about this, well, I was going to say they're committing 3v4 here. They're losing Soak, but not really. Zool is just going to town between these two bottom lanes, which is, it's a little bit of a long ways to rotate, but he's getting so many tower shots already out and forcing Nazeebo to have to try to deal with him, and they've brought Mecha Shiva down in order to also try to keep up on the Soak here. So good job, Zool. He's got very strong there. Great roots to lock both Arthas and Nubarak. Chunking down Lokiandra, but here's where Waffle Fries really shows the power of Morales by able to keep both these guys into the fight. The first shrine looks like it's spawning right at the bottom here, so kind of nice for Rip the Dream by the fact that they've already had the ability to get good pressure onto these towers, so there's not as many shots there for him. Waffle Fries is going to have to go back, and it looks like the 4-man up at the top here is going to punish for it. Anubrak dropping to Aetherfog and Rival. And Lokiander's going to see what they can do to try to delay this, but nobody started the Shrinelet, so it's not going to force Rip the Dream to rotate. They can just keep trying to punish if they want. And it looks like that's what they're going for. Lokiander getting chunked by Rival, and Rival's going in after it and able to secure the kill. Nice job, Rival. And Waffle Fries coming back up to the truck to try to delay. But we do have down at the bottom, Jaina and Nazeebo have decided, no, we need to start this, even though they're pushing in our fort in the top. My guess is Rip the Dream is going to take this fort and then possibly rotate down, or just rotate down to the Fen, because they are lost 20 of them already. I like this, right? They're thinking, yeah, this first one is not super important, so why don't we get value while the other team is going for it, and then we can just back off and defend. And already having pressure like this is wonderful. It's an interesting style. You don't usually see this too much on this map. I don't think I've ever really seen it before. But Lokiandra's going to have a tough day in here as the whole team's rotating down to mid. Aetherfog doing a good pushback to get through, and as Arthas, he doesn't really have any escapes. Great combination there to lock him in place and blow him up. And now we see most of the team going down. Zool just heading to the top, though, and he's going to get as much push in on this keep as possible. So far, Punisher hasn't done much. They have front walls down, but they are not going to lose this fort. So, great trade by the side of Rip the Dream. I like the decision-making, shot calling there, knowing that they could force that fort in time to still come back and save their own. So, very nice. Nims and Lokiandra going at it here. Nims trying to get as much damage as possible on the towers. We do have Nazeebo and Waffle Fries wrapping around, so Nims is just going to fall, trying to get as many skeletons going before he goes, but not much he can do. Did get some good value onto that first tower, though, so I again, don't love the death, but Zul doesn't really have any escape, so I think it was a good trade. It would have been nicer to see one of them go, but Lokiandra did have the mindset to get back and deal with him before Zul causes too much damage, because he does when he's on his own. Nice grenade there to try to push him into tower range, but too many minions there to be useful. We see Naz wrapping around from the backside. Zell taking a lot of damage from Rival already, and he will just get out of there with his burrow charge. Very nice. Sigornis is a little far behind everything. Lokiandra's trying to push Malfurion back. Same with Sigornis. They're trying to get damage on Tyriella. Rip the Dream's a little split up here, so they're not able to really execute. Rival trying to get some damage on Waffle Fries with a nice wraparound, but can't finish it off with that. And we see Zul here. Nims is just going back. He's like, you guys go have fun, mess around in that lane. I'm just gonna go up top and get some skeletons pushing, and it's gonna force Graveyard Shift to have to deal with him right away here. Otherwise, they're gonna have more pressure on their keep, and you don't want to lose one this early at 5 minutes in. I like the decision making of picking up the different camps here while they're waiting for shrines to spawn. Very, very good play. While you're ahead, while you've got a little bit of an advantage forcing the other team to deal with lanes, you might as well pick up some other stuff just to stay ahead. Mid Shrine's coming up. Both teams do have a nice close well, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue for either time. I'm expecting to see a very nice fight here. We do have Lokiandra and Sigornis taking on a 4-man at the bottom. Great roots by Malfurion there. Rival getting in, trying to chase him down, but not going to dive into the tower this time. Lokiandra's just a little too high for Rival's liking, but they will get the front wall down here. And again, they're sort of doing that same thing where, oh, you're going to go take the shrine? Okay, we don't really care. Rival again going after Lokiandra, and Lokiandra is just blown up again. Another kill last side of Rip the Dream, and this should allow them, if they can clear some of this wave, they'll hit 10s as they're heading up for the shrine. So Nubrak and Jaina need to watch out, because we're going to have a lot coming on here. We do have Strafe picked up by Vela, Expulsion Zone. Oh, Jaina! Mecha Shiva just gets blown out, not able to get out of there in time. Nubrak did go up and was able to escape. Expulsion Zone, we've got Twilight Dream and Skeletal Mages as well, and ETC has yet to pick up his, so he's probably just waiting to see how the game's going and what might be the most advantageous for us. And that's not a bad plan to do on ETC, because if you haven't shown what you have, the team will have to play tentatively, because you might pick up the Mosh and go straight into them. So it's kind of a mind game to play as an ETC and just mess with them and say, you ain't gonna know what I pick until I first use it. And then you're gonna have to worry about it. So that's good. I like the camp pickup on the right hand side. They're kind of delaying it until they can get the Punisher going as well too. 3 more minions need to go down, so Rip the Dream has no problem picking this one up whatsoever. And then Val is just going back and picking up that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Rival just goes up and clears the Bruiser camp up top as well to ensure that those Bruisers they just picked up get a ton of value. But it looks like Zul's going to rotate and do that, which is smart, because Rival is the one that they want in behind the team fight, getting a ton of damage. We do have ults from the side of the Graveyard Shift, so we do lose Lieutenant Morales, which is going to be tough here, but Cinder Grosso comes out over the top. Rival's getting very low. Great Twilight Dream in there to get 2 members. But we do lose an Anubarak as well. Lokiandra's going to go down to the Zarya, and the Punisher is getting very low here. Nazeebo and Jane are getting good damage in behind it. They were able to play that very well. The 2-for-1 trade was nice, but Rip the Dream still came out ahead in there. You know, 1 less kill, and they got damage onto the fort. So, ults on the side of Graveyard Shift. We do have Cinder Grosso, which you've seen. Ring of Frost has already come out. Gargant. Cocoon from Anubarak and Medevac, like I was thinking might happen just based on the team comp from Morales. So I'll give them a little bit of ability to jump and maybe try to do what we've been seeing Rip the Dream do right now and take some advantage and then jump into the team fights around the shrines. All in all, levels, you know, everybody's been saying a very close level advantage. There's only 1 level difference yet, so Rip the Dream is by no means have this in the bag. This could change very easily. We're on the same talent tier right now. Waffle Fries and Mecha Shiva are looking towards getting this camp, but Aether Fog scouting this out, seeing Mecha Shiva there, and they may try to collapse. Maybe not. It's a little greedy to try to do that. Zool's just trying to get his soak on as usual. And right now, it looks like we've got a little bit better soak from the side of Graveyard Shift, but Rip the Dream is doing an aggressive camp take here, and it looks like Graveyard Shift is just going to let them have it. They don't want to take in this. They don't have enough people close by to try to deal with this. They'd rather just keep the soak. Keep the soak going. Try to catch up in levels. We do have the 13 tier picked up by Rip the Dream, so they don't want to take a fight down a talent tier. They should be able to hit 13s before the next shrine pops up, which will be really nice. Though they do have to be careful that they don't let minions get too much damage on this bottom fort, otherwise that might extend the level lead slightly more. And this fort's going down. So it looks like Graveyard Shift, they just want to go up. They see the shrine. They were seeing if they could capitalize on Zool. But again, there's going to be a... Oh, you're rotating up there? Well, we're just going to take this and then we'll come up there in a few minutes when you're about halfway through the shrine. So, very nice. And they may even... They're posturing to get a front wall again, too. So it's a very interesting style play on this map where it's... They know they can pressure the forts and the keeps. So, they're not as worried about the shrines. And we're seeing here it's forcing a medevac out. The entire team's coming down to try to defend this. And at the same time, Zool is taking the middle fort. And so they've got 2 forts in this, and now they will be able to get positional advantage going under the shrine because the medevac has brought everybody down to the bottom, and they're going to be trying to clear out the bruisers before they go up there. So Rip the Dream can definitely set up here and try to take advantage of this. And I'm expecting we're going to see Graveyard Shift. They want to take a fight now before Rip the Dream hits 16s. So it'll be interesting to see how they get into things here and position going into this. A couple people have not picked up their 16s yet, which is a little scary. Haven't seen any ult support yet. We are seeing them push back. Cindergrosa coming in to slow people down. Explosion Zone and Roots to try to delay this. And just forcing Rip the Dream to back up a little bit, but it's not enough. They're just being able to play safe, and then they can come in and push in when they want. They're even just sending Zool down. Like, they don't care if they lose this Punisher. Now, Punishers are starting to get a little bit stronger now that we're at the 11-minute mark. So it is going to get scarier and scarier and will allow Graveyard Shift the ability to push a lot more if they are go commit hard after the Punishers. But with Zool down at the bottom here and going to be pushing, they're going to get a front wall bottom and possibly even mid. It's going to have to force a lot of them to come back and deal with him. So they're not going to get much value out of this Punisher again this time. So even though they picked up 2 of the 3 Punishers this game, it's really not working out in their favor. Positionally, Rip the Dream is just having a better map sense of knowing where the enemy team is and where they can push stuff. Though we do have Jaina and Nazeebo here by Zool, but they're not going to try to deal with anything. I don't know if I love the Waffle Fries back in the bottom trying to deal with things. It's not usually the best idea to have your support go and deal with things. And there we see. Frozen Punisher gone. Sliver killed on the health. That's it. So, crazy to see that. Like I've said before, it's an interesting style of play that you don't usually see on this map, but definitely Rip the Dream knows what they're doing and is taking advantage of it. I love the thought process behind it. Kind of disappointed I haven't thought of it. Rip the Dream aggressively picking up camps here. This is going to force a lot of pressure onto this front wall. Vala's going to push this forward. And they're all just rotating bottom, trying to get pressure on the bottom fort. So Rip is probably going to get a front wall here and have to force the rotation out very easily. Rival's already going in, trying to get some damage. Zarya Shield's coming out. The full team goes in. There come the Skeletal Mages coming up. Or not Skeletal Mages, the Skeletons. Medevac's already coming up, forcing the retreat up. It's great to see that Graveyard has pressure in 2 lanes right now with the camps. So Rip the Dream can't stay too long or they worry about losing a lot of damage to the Bruisers and the Siege camps that are there. But at the same time, they do have the advantage right now with they already hit their level 16 talents, so they can push basically as long as they want and force Graveyard Shift to stay here and lose out on a bunch of soak. But Nim's rotating down to clean that up. They did lose a fort in the bottom, so a good job getting those camps. Graveyard, getting you a little bit of value, helping you catch up a little bit. You should hit your 16s right about now. Now. God, I'm horrible. But again, more red pressure on the map, picking up other camps. So 13.5 minutes. Rip the Dream now is not really in a position to try to capitalize just because it just keeps up. Waffle Fry scouting out. What is going on there? I don't love that. Aether Fog getting a really good suck. Expulsion Zone. Ring of Frost going out catching just Zarya, but Waffle Fry's cut in there. Stage Dive into the middle of it. We lose both Morales and Jaina. Nubrak goes down. Nazebo as well, and that's going to be a full team wipe with Lokiandra falling to the rival. Damn, guys. That was, good call. You knew that they should be somewhere, and you're trying to scout it out. Don't love the Morales scout. That's just scary. And yeah, they were able to capitalize. That was the fighting in the chokes against the Zarya is very scary because if you get the roots down from Malf or the expulsion zone from Zarya, like, you're stuck in there, and you saw that. You saw Waffles trying to run and just bounce back into it. That was an oh shit moment. And I love the decision making here. They know we just full team wiped. They're up, not up till right about now. Let's push. Let's try to get at least a front wall, if not a keep. And we've got Zul taking the other front wall down there too and getting lots of pressure. So while they force Graveyard Shift to have to defend these waves coming in, they should easily be able to pick up this Shrine, no problem, and then get lots of pressure into it, especially with the stuff coming up the top. I almost would have loved to see somebody go take the other siege camp, but I think it's smart that they stayed grouped together. Zul's doing what he can, trying to grab the soak up and bait the team to come deal with him. So keep them set in a weird direction so that they can't really come and contest the Shrine. Very much like this, and I think we're going to see a full team push with this, or just go and camp up and push in a separate lane. Which we see Aether Fog already going down, trying to get more soak, they want to hit 20s before they go in here. Zul should get lots of clear here, and the Aether Fog soak should give them the 20s. So they're going to go into here. We've got the clear out for Expulsion Bolt, Raise Mages, Farflight Cliver for Bella. Very, very strong things. We haven't seen a pickup yet, and it's going to be the Crowd Pleaser for ETC. And he's just going to go in there, slow them all down. We got the Skeletal. Twilight coming down to try to slow them down, but oh, we get on the 2. Lokiandra's going to go down, and Morales, and Zell. And Sigornius is just going to... Oh, he goes down to those Skeletal Mages. And they're just going to blow this up. Damn! That was... that was intense. Nims, I love it. So many mages. Yeah, there was, what, 10 mages up by the end there? Getting a full team wipe plus your initial mages? Or no, sorry, 9 with the 4 and the 5. Nice fucking job. That was intense. Rip, I loved what was going on there. I loved the thought process behind it. You had beautiful execution, forcing Graveyard Shift onto the back foot through most of that, and forcing them to react to you, and allowing you to capitalize and say, oh, we see you're going there, let's push you here, force you to come back. It was a very skilled way of playing this map that you don't usually see. Rival, I loved your play on Vala. You definitely know your limits with her, and watching you just chase Lokiandra under the towers there was wonderful, and just the damage you were putting out there was great. 41,000, like, that's huge. You look at the other team, the highest that Graveyard Shift had was 22, and Nazebo was no slouch for putting out damage numbers for sure. So definitely had some great capitalization there. It's wonderful. Like, even the whole team. I love the Zul play, knowing where to push. Show yourself, get some skeletons going, rotate away, just try to get the dual soak from lanes while the rest of your team's dealing with the 5-man. Great there. Great Twilights coming up from Malf. Zarya knew where to throw the expulsion zones. There's great roots. Aether Fog just knowing how to harass with ETC and keep people on the back foot and dealing with things. It was well executed. You guys have a great team coordination there, and love to see that. And Graveyard Shift, you guys did good, but Rip the Dream was just able to outmaneuver you and force you guys onto the back foot. And once you're there, it's tough to get back. I definitely would suggest looking at your scouting things. I know when it's when you're on the back foot, it's a little tough. You kind of just want to be like, ooh, we know they're here. Let's see if we can do something about it. But Waffles is Morales. You need to be back a little bit more. It's definitely one of those that you don't want to show yourself too much because you are the main target to go against. So I think that, I mean, there's one point where that kind of ate you, but all in all, it was good. Like there was nothing that I looked at and was like, oh my god, you guys are completely uncoordinated. You aren't doing anything. You just had to respond way too much to what Rip the Dream was doing, which is tough to come back from. Like unless you can manage to take a team fight and get the upper hand. But Rip the Dream knew they didn't need to take the fights. Pressure here and back off. Oh, sure, we'll let you take the shrine, and then we'll just fight where we want to fight in behind and burn this down with Vala. And I'm actually interested. Did Vala take Monster Hunter? No, she didn't. Because, I mean, that would be... If you really want to play a defensive build like that, as much as Vala's nice with the multi-shot to clear the shrines, you could even adjust this and go for a Q build and work on just being able to poke down the Immortal as it comes to you. So you're basically forgiving getting Immortals, but saying... we can burn your Immortal when you get it to us, so we don't care. We'll pressure you and then let you grab it, and then we'll burn it. So that's an interesting thought that I haven't really thought of too much that I might try or suggest to my team and see if that's something we try out. So all in all, great game, guys. That was a pleasure to watch. I always enjoy casting your games, so it's great. Nice to see both the teams, all the people I recognize. We always enjoy casting you guys, so... If you want to see our cast, or if you want us to cast ever again, feel free to shoot us a thing. We usually do Monday nights for sure. But, oh no! Oh! Oh no! That sucks. So one of the guys just whispered me in the Anubarak pick was not who they were going for. Looks like it was a little bit of a misclick by Lokiandra that threw them a bit onto the back foot by not picking up who they wanted to. Oh, damn. Oh, so he wanted ETC. Oh, that sucks. That hurts. That hurts when somebody misclicks and messes it up. So. Oh, I kind of wish I'd like to see that. I'd kind of like to see another match there of how it goes if they got who they wanted and how the draft would have gone differently. But no, all in all, that was great, guys. If you want us to cast, shoot us an invite. We do our best to try to catch as many of the casts as we can. This week's a little tough. And it's tough because we do play, so we practice one night and play one night every week anyways in Chair League. So we usually try to cast... Yeah, that makes sense, Loki. That makes sense. Throw us an invite. Those of you guys that are here and enjoying this, if you enjoy it, smash that follow button. Like I said, we're here. We try to do all sorts of Chair League stuff. We also have an entire Chair League or a casting channel over on YouTube where sometimes we stream to the casting channel or our regular channel, BJ & Co. But we do highlight all the casts, or we try to highlight all the casts. We do... sorry, I'm getting distracted by comments. We try to, if we have the time, we highlight the casts and send them over to our YouTube channel. I'm working on right now setting up a playlist for all the different teams. So if there's a team you're coming up to play against, we will likely have a playlist on our channel about the team so you can catch all of their old matches. Currently, we've only got playlists with the games that we have casted and have been able to make the 2-week window to highlight them and get them over to YouTube. But at some point, I am planning on hopefully grabbing games from other casters that put it up on YouTube as well and adding them to the playlists. So we'll have a nice selection of games that you guys can pull from. So yeah, if you guys want to support us, follow the channel, subscribe to us over on YouTube. We appreciate anything. We've also got our website, bjandco.ca, where you can see all the different things we do, including the different social medias we're on. We've got a Patreon page, all that sort of fun stuff. So we appreciate that you guys are here playing for our enjoyment and giving us games to cast, because it's always a pleasure. You guys are such a wonderful bunch. So we hope we can keep doing this for you. But that's it for tonight. It's been a long night for me already. I've been going since 7 o'clock already, so it's been 3.5 hours. And I got to go to work in the morning, so I'm going to call it quits for this evening. Thanks for joining us, and we will hopefully catch you guys all next time. We do have a cast tomorrow night if you guys want to just come around and hang out. It's a Div 3, so there's always can be some fun shenanigans down there, versing SOL versus Feral Clan, and it's going to start at 5:20 PST, so fairly early Chair League match, but it'd be great if you guys could just drop on by, say hi if you want to catch some good stuff. We always enjoy chatting with you guys, and you can always get your BJs on in the channel. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you all next time. Bye.